AEW Dynamite had its Fallout show from Double or Nothing this past Wednesday. Let's get into it. This is All Elite Review. What's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan, and welcome to today's edition of All Elite Review. I will be reviewing the 32nd episode of AEW Dynamite from May the 27th, 2020. I'm going to try to abbreviate this review, get this done and over with, because I am a little late getting this video uploaded, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. I'm just going to breeze right through this. The first match was a trios match. Well, before that, you had the Inner Circle. Apparently had a truck full of like shirts from, that said Stadium Stampede Champions, which they weren't. So they kind of didn't know what to do with them. But the first match was a trios match between Private Party and Joey Janela against Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks. This is a pretty solid match. Had some cool double team moves in it. Late in the match, Quinn did a Tope Con Hero onto the Young Bucks with his partner. It looked like he may have injured his left leg, although that may or may not have been a work to set up what happened after the match. The Young Bucks hit their more bang for your buck on casting, got the 3 count in the victory. Matt Hardy helped Mark Quinn to the back. Afterwards, the Butcher and the Blade attacked the Young Bucks because in the middle of the match, I believe it was Nick Jackson that tried to hit a super kick on Joey Janela, but Janela ducked out of the way and he actually ended up hitting the Blade instead, so the Butcher and the Blade started attacking him. And then a truck's engine could be heard, and up pulled Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. The Revolt. Yes, they are in AEW. At first it looked like they were going to attack the Young Bucks, and then they attacked the Butcher and the Blade. They also got to hit their Shatter Machine finisher, which was the Flapjack Codebreaker combo. And they had a stare down with the Young Bucks, so it looks like that matchup between the two is finally going to come to fruition after years of teases. But this opening match was solid. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. Afterwards, Jon Moxley comes to the ring and goes to the announcer's table, so he was doing commentary, basically, for the next match, which was a squash match with Brian Cage taking on Lee Johnson, who has essentially been a jobber. Cage immediately goes after Lee Johnson, clubbing Lariat in the corner. Bradley Beal, his running uppercut, Gamengiri German suplex combo, and then, of course, he hits a power bomb, a buckle bomb, and then his drill claw. I got the 3 count in the victory. I gave it 1.75 stars out of 5. And Taz got on the microphone and basically talked how he respected Moxley and said that Cage is basically going to take the title from you at Fyter Fest. I'm paraphrasing. And then Britt Baker comes out for the rules of being a role model, calling her injury a conspiracy, which actually turned out was not as serious as we all thought it would be. We thought it would be like a 6 to 9 month injury, but it turns out it's only going to be about 3 months, which I'll get to that in a minute. Baker says that Statlander being an alien is a crock of shit, which kind of made me laugh. Then she has like her helper bring out like a graph accusing Aubrey Edwards of a conspiracy because it seemed like every injury I've had, Aubrey Edwards has been there, you know what I mean? And then she declares that she'll be back at All Out. So evidently the injury is not as serious as we thought. So that's good. Because just based on how she reacted when Nyla Rose landed on her leg, it definitely looked like a potential ACL tear, which would have put her out for the rest of the year. But as it turned out, it wasn't as serious as we thought. The Inner Circle is being interviewed backstage, talking about their pep rally, which was in the main event time slot for the show. Orange Cassidy wanders into the interview in the background, which will result in something that happens later on in the show. The third match was Christy James taking on the new women's champion Hikaru Shida. This was a back and forth affair. James hit a nice Arabian arm drag. Shida, of course, with her knee strikes, pendulum backbreaker, suplex. James hit a nice step up enziguri and a sunset flip kick for a 2 count. Missed the lion salt though. Shida hit a sliding forearm and a running knee for a 2 count, but then hit the Falcon Arrow and got the 3 count for the victory. It was a solid match. I think Christy James is a pretty good talent. That they, with a little bit more seasoning, she could definitely be a big star in the women's division. I gave this match 2.75 stars out of 5. Then the camera pans to Hangman and Omega in their hotel room, just having a drink. And Hangman gets up, notices that there's a camera hanging in their room, and he kind of gets all face to face with the camera. I thought that was funny. And then we have the new TNT champion, Cody, coming out for an interview. And one of the things I love, you know how they show like the nameplates when the wrestlers come out and they're like gold and black to represent, you know, AEW's colors. Well, for the TNT champion, apparently they showed the nameplates in red and silver, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought, that's a nice little touch. So Cody basically says, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he's going to be defending the championship every single week, which good luck with that. I don't know what that will do for the TNT title, but I mean, with Cody being the one to defend it, I think it'll definitely bring some prestige to the championship. Of course, his first challenger was going to be the winner of the Battle Royal, which was the final match of this show. But I think every match after that, he said it would be like an open challenge type deal. So there's that. The next match was a number 1 contenders tag match between Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc, who I guess they're calling themselves the Superbad Squad, going up against SCU, which is, as per the usual, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. And you're probably asking yourselves, well, I thought the Best Friends were the number 1 contenders. Yeah, they are. They're going to be getting their championship match at Fyter Fest, whereas the winner of this match will get their title match next week. And another question would be like, well, why would these guys get a title match next week? And then you have SCU or the Best Friends getting their title match at Fyter Fest. Perception. In terms of a quote-unquote payday, it would be a lot more... It would basically be a bigger payday to have a championship match on a pay-per-view as opposed to an episode of Dynamite. You know, so there's that. Havoc and Sabian attack SCU early on. Lots of great double team moves. One thing's for sure, Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian, they do have a pretty good... seems like they have a really good chemistry as a tag team. Because they do quite a bit of double team moves that are actually pretty solid, if I may say so myself. Scorpio Sky hit a belly-to-belly on Sabian and a dropkick on Havoc. His slingshot cutter into a dragon sleeper. Havoc hits his Shoryuken rolling DVD on Sky, which was really good. Sabian hit a nice coup de grace on Sky for a 2 count. Kazarian hits a scissors kick on Sabian. SCU hits the assisted Tornado DDT on Havoc for a 2 count. Kaz hits the Poland slingshot cutter on Havoc for a 2 count. They try to go for the SCU later, but of course Penelope Ford gets her ass involved once again. Go figure. Grabs Kazarian's foot. and I think it was I forget who it was that knocked Kazarian out of the ring, but Havoc and Sabian hit their dropkick Michinoku driver combination on Scorpio Sky and actually get the 3 count and the victory. So Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc are going to get their first ever championship match in AEW, whether it be singles or tag, and it's going to be against, of course, the Omega Cowboys next week on Dynamite. And of course, that's considering that Hangman and Omega haven't defended the titles lately because of the COVID-19 crap. But this was a solid match. I gave it 3.25 stars out of 5. And it'll be interesting to see how Hangman and Omega defend the titles next week. And then we got the Battle Royal for the TNT Championship match. This was basically a bunch of mid-carders for the most part, with a couple of upper-tier mid-card guys. Proud and Powerful attack Orange Cassidy on the ramp, of course after wandering into their interview earlier. Luther hits a Bradley Beal on Marco stunt. Luchasaurus hits a tail whip and a chokeslam on Luther to eliminate him. Wardlow launches Sunny Kiss over the top rope. Billy blocks the flying apple and sends Colt Cabana over the top rope. And there was one of the Dark Order guys there to hand him a flyer, of course. Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler go at it while straddling on the top rope, and then they eventually eliminate each other. So that's still going on. Wardlow hits a roaring lariat on Luchasaurus. Marco hits a Frankensteiner on Daniels that sends him out of the ring. Wardlow with a gorilla press on Marco, and he throws him onto Daniels and out of the match. Luchasaurus and Wardlow start going toe-to-toe, and then Billy and Lucha start going toe-to-toe. Wardlow and MJF eliminate both Luchasaurus and Billy for the match. MJF accidentally blasts Wardlow with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and ends up being eliminated by Jungle Boy, who backbody drops him over the top. Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy eliminate Wardlow by throwing him over the top rope while he was quote-unquote stunned. So that left just Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy to challenge in this Battle Royal. And there was actually quite a bit of nice little exchanges here, because Orange Cassidy hit a couple of Superman punches. Jungle Boy hits his rebound lariat. He hit a nice running Frankensteiner and sent Orange over the top rope, held on to the top rope himself to keep himself from being eliminated, and he earns the first TNT title match against Cody next week. You know, typical Battle Royal. I gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. The main event time slot featured the Inner Circle Pep Rally, where basically they had like all this shit that was going down, giving each other gifts and all that stuff. But then Jericho calls out Mike Tyson and recalls an incident that happened to him on January 11th, 2010 on a Monday night. He's referring to that episode of Monday Night Raw where he was teaming with Mike Tyson to go up against a Reformed DX with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And Tyson ended up turning on Jericho that night by taking his original shirt off and revealing a DX shirt, which is kind of ironic considering that he originally turned on Shawn Michaels and DX at WrestleMania 14. So that was kind of funny. They ended up knocking out Jericho. So that's what he was referring to. So Mike Tyson comes out with his posse, which he also had a couple of MMA guys, which I thought was pretty funny. They start jaw-jacking at each other. Not jaw-jacking as in punching, but, you know, just verbally. Both push each other, and then all hell breaks loose. And just a massive brawl between both sides, which I thought was pretty hilarious. And that was your episode of AEW Dynamite, final episode for the month of May here in 2020. Overall, this was a solid episode of AEW Dynamite. I gave this show 6.5 out of 10 as my final rating. And that's going to do it for this review. I know it's a bit abbreviated, but at the time I'm recording this, it's 10 p.m., so I gotta get this one up and uploaded on YouTube. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Here are my updated rankings, my updated personal rankings. And until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out. See ya. You better like and subscribe or face the consequences. You have been warned.